When did you realize your parents raised you right? Growing up, my dad worked as a janitor at my middle school. I was so embarrassed that I'd take different hallways just to avoid him. When my friends came over, I'd tell them he was a building manager. One day in 8th grade, this kid, Jake, was being horrible to Carlos, a new student who barely spoke English. Jake knocked Carlos's lunch tray down and laughed while Carlos tried to pick up his food. Before I could even move, my dad appeared with his mop. He didn't say a word, just started cleaning. Then he pulled out his lunchbox and gave Carlos half his sandwich. Turned out he'd been bringing extra food every day because he'd noticed Carlos never had enough. That afternoon, I saw my dad teaching Carlos English during his break, using cleaning supplies to point out words. Mop, he'd say, demonstrating. Bucket, Carlos would repeat, laughing. By the end of the year, Carlos was speaking English pretty well. At graduation, he hugged my dad and called him mi segundo padre, my second father. I never took different hallways after that. Instead, I'd help dad clean after school, and he'd teach me Spanish words while we worked. Now I'm an ESL teacher, and every time a new student arrives, I think about my dad and his mom.